Sometimes missteps lead you where you need to be. She and I had a son when we were just 18. Fine young man. I joined the military mostly just to make money so I could support him. 18 years later, he joined the military because he loved our country and he wanted to make it a better place. Boy, was an improvement on me in every way.
What?
Peacemaker. What a joke.
So last night I watched the season finale of Peacemaker. Last night for me, probably a week or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how long it takes for me to edit this video. I thought it was alright. It wasn't as good as the season 1 finale. I still think it was pretty good. Like, it closed off a lot of the character arcs of like the main Peacemaker team, as well as like Frank Grillo's Rick Flag Sr. And it leaves a lot of room for the future in the DCU. But there's been a lot of complaints. It's not a lot of people talking about how it kind of falls flat for them. I'm not really here to argue against that. I think in some ways it does, considering how much it seems to be setting up the future DCU. It's one of those situations where I'm going to have to wait until Man of Tomorrow to see how much gets resolved from Peacemaker Season 2. But one complaint I've been seeing a lot of that kind of baffles me is Rick Flag Sr.'s character arc. It seems like people don't understand what a reverse character arc is. It's like, how is he a bad guy? He was so good in Creature Commandos. And it's like, was he that good? He was the protagonist. And I know like a lot of people struggle today with like understanding that the protagonist isn't always a good person or isn't always correct. And I think we're running into that here. In particular, they're wondering why he hates metahumans so much. And it's like, did you watch the show? Because it's not really metahumans he has a problem with. It's fucking Peacemaker. It seems like you forgot that Peacemaker killed his son despite the fact that he says it every 5 seconds. And Rick Flag Sr. is kind of doing everything he can to justify punishing Peacemaker for it. When we first meet Rick Flag Sr., it is right after the death of his son in Creature Commandos. And in it, he tells the princess, Rick Flag Jr. is everything that I wanted to be. Every path that I took, he took it better, right? Like, that's the entire thing, is that Rick Flag Jr. is the complete version of Rick Flag Sr. And you know what he does immediately after that? He fucks a princess half his age that he was sent there to protect. He's not exactly a good guy. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, well, he ended up being friends with Creature Commandos. No, he kind of didn't. He kind of barely tolerated them the entire time and then was removed halfway through the show. I guess the plan is still to send these people out there and treat them as expendable. Like, the only reason you think he is friendly with them and is like actual friends with them is because he treats them like people. He doesn't automatically assume they're monsters, just like Waller would. And that was like to show a contrast between him and Waller. Waller is like one of the most evil people in the DC universe, but he's not that. And then another complaint is like, why is he working with Lex Luthor? And it's like, he was in the Superman movie. Do you not remember when Lex Luthor was in the fucking Pentagon talking to Rick Flag Sr. and I can't remember the other guy? Like, Luthor had an in with them, and Rick Flag Sr. even arrests Superman for Luthor and put Superman into that fucking extra dimensional prison. Like, he didn't, like, yeah, he said, I'm sorry, Superman. But like a lot of characters in the DC universe, a lot of people like Superman and don't like any other like superhero, essentially. And there's like a reason he's in Waller's position. It's not like the United States government is going to want somebody with the cleanest morals to lead one of their fucking government agencies. They hired Waller. Waller was a fucking, what, they chose her. So why the fuck would they be like, we need somebody that's like absolutely 100% morally great. No, dude. He is a soldier. He follows orders. He doesn't give a fuck. And then in this entire season of Peacemaker, you saw him go from like more button up to like kind of more and more like one of the elites. Like, especially in that last episode where he's like, there's that montage of him just laughing it up with Luther's men, kind of signifying that he is in Luther's pocket now. But even before then, he showed this single-minded desire of punishing Peacemaker. And even in his pursuit of the portal and like the prison, he was kind of doing that just to fuck with Peacemaker. Like that scene between him and Sasha isn't really meant to explain why he's doing these things to Peacemaker. It's not him actually saying that like, oh yeah, I was playing 4D chess. It was him justifying his own emotions. It's supposed to be like a question of whether or not his intentions are pure at all. And surprise, they weren't, as we saw in the final scene. And it's not like he's that far removed from his actions in Creature Commandos, because that's a team designed of prisoners who are intended to be killed, essentially, like a Suicide Squad.
What does that do?
If I press this button, it activates an unbearably painful jolt directly into their brains.
Oh, that's cruel, no?
Is the point, yes?
And he doesn't really have a problem with the Suicide Squad. He has a problem that his son was killed in the Suicide Squad. And if you're okay with that, how much of a stretch is it to say, I'm okay with dropping them off on this paradise planet? And like even during that Pentagon scene with him and like the Secretary of Defense, I can't remember his name, the guy goes like, well, how is this punishing people? You're putting them on a paradise. And he goes like, I don't care about punishment. I'm just going to remove these people. That seems like it falls within his like morally gray character regardless. And I think it's pretty interesting and a good sign in the DCU that a protagonist in one show can be an antagonist in another, especially in the same year. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm excited for the future of the DCU. I'm excited for Man of Tomorrow, excited for Supergirl, excited for Clayface. I'm just interested in where this is going. So I'm Seth the Topless, editor-in-chief for Forbidden Origins Comics. Have fun. These Lies End in Death issue 2, my comic, is coming out this Friday, or it's already out, depending on when I edit this. So please buy a copy, like, comment, subscribe to the video, all that. You have a good day.